local news. On News Today, is Mr. O'Hare going to be doing jail time for unethical sales? Grammy on gardening, and in celebration of the Thneed's 5th year anniversary, the Onceler's new Sustainable Development Plan. Success or flop? To be discussed further in detail. It's been 5 years since the production of the first Thneed, and with the Onceler's unsustainable business development, the environment of Thneedville deteriorated rapidly. Until recently, local Thneedville boy Ted started a campaign to restore truffula trees to their original state. Numerous social and environmental consequences followed the rapid, unsustainable development of Thneeds Inc. To start, clear-cutting the trees killed off the trees in a much faster rate than they could be replenished. The animals depended on these trees as a food source and as a habitat, so by not sustaining the natural resources and maintaining balance, the wildlife suffered. As well, the factories spewed out toxic waste into the air and the ponds, polluting the atmosphere, the land, and the water. The polluted air was unsafe to breathe and a health concern for the community. The aquatic life of Thneedville suffered as well. In addition, many jobs related to the business were lost, resulting in decreased livelihood. The trees were an important natural resource and a large part of the economy, so when they were lost, this led to decreased prosperity. Finally, the generation after the Onceler was left with the pressure to clean up the mess that he made, and they did not want to live in the terrible, unsafe, and polluted world. For more information on the Onceler's new Sustainable Development Plan, we have personally invited the Onceler, founder and CEO of the Thneed Inc., to give us a full explanation. First of all, how would you like to address your unfeasible forestry method?
Business will have a sustainable forestry planning and management to support sustainable forestry. In the beginning, our business will be focused on the regeneration of the truffula tree forest and will not harvest any trees until all the trees have fully matured. Genomics, here's a diagram, is the practice of growing the most desirable trees through scientific breeding. This process will be used so that the trees can develop beneficial traits such as insect resistance, stress tolerance, as well as wood formation. As a result, forest health and productivity increases, which will support our long-term sustainability. Additionally, once the trees have reached maturity, selective cutting will be used, as the company believes that this is the most sustainable way to harvest truffula trees. As well, specific regulations on where, what type of trees, and how many trees are cut down will be created, enforced, and monitored. Modern technology and skilled workers will minimize waste and damage and ensure that the trees are being cut down will not affect the health of the forest. Additionally, we will use modern technologies that can process trees, saving time, improving worker safety, and reducing the environmental impacts. Workers will be trained on how to use the technology safely and efficiently. To continue, forestry activities will be monitored by geospatial technologies, which will help with advantageous and accurate decision-making. These technologies will be beneficial in order to monitor the regeneration and health of the truffula trees. After harvesting begins, these technologies can be used to ensure regulations are being adhered to, and the forest management plan is optimal for the productivity and sustainability of the forest.
Wow, that sounds great. Will any changes be made to the factory itself?
Of course, we plan to replace many of our current technologies with technology that is safer and more environmentally friendly. Our main goal will be to incorporate the use of modern wood processing technologies that will be more environmentally friendly as well as efficient. Some technologies would include woodyard portal cranes, power feed conveyors, chippers, chip screens, screw reclaimers, bark shredders, bark presses, biomass crushers, pre-steaming bins, and grinder chargers. As a result, there will be a minimum labor and energy costs, less wood wasted, and less environmental load, as well as less maintenance requirements. While the wood is being processed, the soft material from the truffula trees will be manufactured into Thneeds by workers working under fair conditions. Furthermore, our company plans to establish renewable energies to use for Thneedville, as well as our business operation, including Thneed production. Citizens could be paid to have solar panels installed on their roofs by our business. Our business would benefit from the energy, citizens would be paid, and for the need for space, which could be used to grow truffula trees, would be decreased. In addition to this, our company plans to establish a solar plant to sell energy to the community, and it would be at a fair and affordable price. Our business would also plan to have a wind-powered plant to improve reliability of energy. It will be located in a distant location from Thneedville on hills where trees cannot grow due to the incline, where it would be windier due to the higher altitude.
Great, I'm sure all the citizens will be happy for that. But have you decided to make any changes to the business structure?
After much thought and many consultations, we have decided to change our business to a corporation, whereas before it was a sole proprietorship where I was the main owner, with my only employees being my family. A corporation will allow citizens and investors to invest in our business, which will provide us with the funding needed to establish the infrastructure and purchase the technologies for sustainable development. There will also be a board of directors who will help us to efficiently manage our business and execute a plan for sustainable development. Finally, there will be public reports which establish accountability, and shareholders can influence company decisions, which will make the company of Thneedville include their inputs in our business. However, our company will continue to support and value all of our employees and workers. We will ensure that there is no discrimination in hiring and compensation, so all employees of all different genders and races will be treated equally and receive equal opportunities. Furthermore, there will be employee benefits and compensations that include fair wages and health and life insurance.
I see your point. Anything else you would like to share, Mr. Wensler?
Well, a fuzzy peanut once inspired me to think beyond myself and for the community we live in. Our community has decided to establish a charity to make the city more sustainable. Our company will donate 80% of the charity profits in cleaning up the environment, as well as habitat restoration projects run by environmental experts. The other 20% will go towards healthcare and education facilities in Thneedville. The charity could also support green methods of transportation, such as bicycling, by building a bicycle lane and funding public transits. We also plan on encouraging workers to volunteer, for example, planting trees in the neighborhood, establishing green areas and parks, as well as establishing sustainable agriculture in backyards or community gardens.
Thank you, Mr. Wensler, for your time today. I'm sure all of our viewers learned a lot about your sustainable development plan. Best of luck!
Thanks for having me.
Next up, we have the Newsville reporter Farr on the layout of the re-imaged Wensler's business grounds.
Thneedville, I'm here to report to you about the Wenslers' plans. So as you know, Thneedville is right around here. And obviously the Wensler would need his processing plant for the truffula trees, so that will be right here, as you can see. And also, the Wensler has talked a lot about, as you know, the renewable energy that he wants to use. So obviously the Lorax Hills will be here to provide wind energy, and the solar panels will be here to provide some solar energy. Also, there will be many roads going around here, as you can see, the black lines and bridges and rivers to help the transportation of the truffula trees to the processing plant, which will help the creation move faster and more efficiently. And obviously you can see the truffula tree forest to help the processing plant gain some more product and wood and truffula feathers to help the processing more efficient and faster. And there'll be a truffula tree conservation park to help the kids and some animals to stay conservated during the production of truffula trees. That's all for today. Back to you, Michaela.
Thank you for that detailed rundown. Following, we have economist and local environmental specialist Leanne to explain whether she believes that Thneeds Inc.'s new Sustainable Development Plan will be able to meet the city's economic, environmental, and social needs.
Well, personally, I think that it's great that the Wensler is developing a new sustainable development plan. As a socially responsible corporate business, they will have a very positive impact on the community. Their business will provide forestry, manufacturing, and energy production jobs to Thneedville citizens. Fair employee hiring and compensation plans will support employee needs, resulting in increased livelihood and standard of living, and decreased poverty and dependence on social services and welfare. The charity they have chosen will establish and promote a sustainable development within the city, for example, supporting the healthcare and education facilities. Through the use of new technologies, efficiency, worker safety, and forest impacts will be improved. The creation of infrastructure and development of the renewable energy will reduce environmental impacts for both our company and the community which we operate in. As well, the sustainable forest management plans will ensure that truffula trees and resources will not be depleted and will be able to satisfy both present and future needs. It will promote biodiversity and protect animal habitats and the resources that wildlife depends upon to survive. Overall, the sustainable development plan that the Once-ler has developed will result in a business that is environmentally stable and socially equitable, and will benefit from long-term wealth and prosperity.
Thank you for that insightful view, Leanne. With all this talk about industrial development, we would like to conclude this segment by discussing whether we believe industrialization represents a problem, progress, or a promise. That's right, folks. We asked, and you voted. It was a close one, but 60% of you guys voted that it would be a progress and a promise. Naturally, we understand why. Industrialization represents a solution to an easier lifestyle, with new technology making our lives more comfortable and efficient. Recall, back before the invention of the laundry machine, people spent hours washing and drying their clothes, but today it takes only 45 minutes. Today, even jobs are now less labor-inducing, where machines help humans to complete their tasks more safely. Michael Meacher, an environmental minister, said it best. Forward-thinking companies that adapt positively to the sustainable business agenda will be at the forefront of resource productivity, reducing waste, and of environmental reporting. They and their management teams make things happen ahead of their competitors. Next up is gardening